I never know what to do in this moment.
We're supposed to rock our heads
Oh.
and make fun of the fact that they paused the music. Are we supposed to be like unironically into it, like biting our lip?
I think so. Taco is.
Well, he wrote the lyric or the riff, right? He's actually writing lyrics.
The metal
to it.
band.
He's like fleshing out a song.
They moved us closer to the toilet pipe.
Yeah.
So now you can really hear that background noise.
Yeah, how'd that happen?
Dire Harmony. Move us over.
They push us around.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Off the Cuff, where we keep you up to date in the latest NFT news. You can find us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, make sure sub to us on YouTube. Watch the video version. We do the video, the audio. Today we're talking about some Bitcoin Miami, a little VCons. They're dropping. We got the Claymates, big thing with Snoop Dogg, and maybe we'll talk a little XRP, Cardano, Solana, ETH difference.
Yeah,
when it comes to NFTs. But first, yeah, man, I mean, we had the big Miami conference, the big Bitcoin Miami conference. People at home, they wanted to go. They wish they could go. You actually went. We actually went. What's your first impression? How would you say, this is my thoughts.
Okay. Oof. It was much better than last year's. Obviously, last year's was not good at all.
Yeah, June outside, a lot of it.
A lot of, the pandemic stuff was going on, so I think they had to have it outside.
It was after the Made crash.
Yeah, very poorly organized. Probably not their fault, Yeah, it wasn't as good. This year, very well organized, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty heavy hitters, Jordan Peterson, Kevin O'Leary. Yeah. You got to meet your idol. I mean, you got that poster up in the office of Tucker.
It's blown up 8 by 8 foot. No, I got to talk to Kevin O'Leary real quick. I got to talk to Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Tuckle. But the TikTok comments on Tucker, the Tucker TikTok, people are like, "No, you're talking to the enemy" and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I knew it was gonna happen.
I want to get political, but we can't.
Well, no, I mean, I'm kind of like I think I've said it maybe even on this podcast before. I take the Michael Jordan, route where Michael Jordan said, "Hey, we want you to back this Democrat in Chicago," and he said, Republicans buy Jordans too. So you know what? I want Republicans to get into NFTs. I want Democrats to get into NFTs. I want socialists to get into it. I want all types. I want a libertarian.
Wait, but what about communists? Do you want communists to get into NFTs?
I don't. Well, communists would airdrop everything for free, right? Who pays the gas? I don't know. That's
No.
We gotta figure out who pays the gas.
I would just say, if you hate on people, make sure you do your research and find out what they stand for before you hate on them. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get too political about it, but that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I don't lean one way or the other.
No, I know
I'm pretty.
You kind of go with the wind.
Middle of the road.
Whatever happens. I
like to listen to both sides.
I like it. So, but yeah, other than that, yeah, the conference was great. I had a lot of fun. There was a lot of parties, and I don't party, but I went to one or two events. I went to some pretty cool meetings that I can't talk too much about. But yeah, there's a lot of money down in Miami.
Yeah, I went to Into the Cryptoverse party, a Benjamin Cowan party. That was pretty fun. It was like 60th floor, this penthouse, really nice food. Went to one little art style party, and it had people wearing full-blown leotards, head to toe, like weird animal prints. And they would have like golden deer antlers like glued to their head, or
did they have any tails?
Some like I didn't see any tails. It was like really jacked, muscular dude with like a unicorn coming out of his head, and they're all like
that meme,
silent and like
that
touching you.
Unicorn guy.
It was like what you'd see in the background of like an Eyes Wide Shut like orgy party or something. It was some weird like people behind curtains like dancing. It was an odd scene. Yeah. But entertaining.
Yeah, I had a similar experience, but I can't really get into it too much. So,
I just missed a brawl, and I guess an NFT crypto brawl. Of course, Crab Fries was involved.
You can't call him that.
He's Karate Kick. We call him Karate Kick now. He's been
upgraded.
Kick.
I thought it was High Kick. Are you doing Karate Kick now?
I'm going Karate Kick. He did say It's a funny thing. There was I guess some sort of, a girl bumped into another girl. It's like two VIP tables. Oftentimes these VIP tables, there's like, you're kind of bumping up against each other. And then, I'm in VIP. So, you get this air of like, hey, this is my area. I'm paying a lot of money for it. And someone bumped into someone else. And then, next thing you know, girls like flinging drinks at each other. And Karate Kick said he swept this guy, shook his head. He's like, I shook his head around, and then I helped him up, and he was discombobulated and didn't know it was me that swept him. I was like, is this some sort of move that people do? Like you knock someone down and you shake their head. I was like, this is like a 1980s WCW move. Like I did the mind scrambler on them, and they woke up like, oh, where is everybody?
He didn't even know it was me.
He didn't know it was me. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, it was a good time. Austin station, like huge displays of wealth everywhere. Like Miami, like you said, there's a lot of money. Went to Gloria Stefan's mansion Gemini party. That was the pool house was a mansion. There's a lot of money out there.
What was her song that she sang?
Come on, my baby. Yeah, that one.
No one knows the lyrics. It's just
yeah. I mean, I don't know. My last.
I get her and like Paul Abdul like confused sometimes.
Yeah. The old Miami sound machine and Paul Abdul. She had the cartoon cat.
Yeah.
She was perfectly built for NFTs. Was that the first NFT? The cool cat that like walks up the stairs.
She's trying to stay relevant. She's in some pharmaceutical commercial where she's dancing around, but you can tell the age has gotten to her.
Well, she had that really bad plane landing, screwed up her back, and then
really?
She got real messed up on pills. I don't want to say messed up.
Well, I don't think that's
she was prescribed.
They always want to find an excuse why they got mixed up on pills. I think she was messed up on pills before that. Remember, she do American Idol?
Well, it was the plane thing was before that. Oh, that's really? What like the genesis was. They said.
Yeah, but she was on American Idol lit.
She was lit. She was lit.
She was like.
You're like they probably like say cut. They're like smelling her drink. Like what?
No, she's a pill popper. She's like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't know at first, But yeah, no. Miami was a good time. A lot of walking. We saw Michael Saylor speak. Mm-hmm. I know Frank, he wanted to see his hero, Jordan Peterson. He got to see that. Any speaker that you were like, oh, this is pretty cool?
No, I liked Ragsy's Lego wall.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Like someone stole Lego out of it. She was quite mad.
Yeah, like to me, those speakers, like I think people appreciate them, and they do. They're very smart. Jordan Peterson, phenomenal mind. Like he's very intelligent. But there's not like I feel like I'm pretty grounded in what Bitcoin is.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it. I know where it's going. I'm a believer. I'm not a maxi, but I know it's.
For those who don't know, how would you describe a Bitcoin maxi?
Bitcoin and nothing else. That's how it like literally. That's the easiest statement to say. Yeah. Anything else doesn't make sense to them. There is no use case for Ethereum. None of this stuff that it's built on makes any sense. NFTs are a scam, but it's only Bitcoin. And they're completely closed-minded.
Yep, I got in an argument at Gloria's. I'm calling her Gloria's now. Gloria's old mansion there. I got in an argument because I said I was an ETH maxi, which I'm not. I was just kind of joking, just to push a button, and he got very offended. He was like, "Oh, there's no use case for it. It's terrible." I said, "Well, besides the gas fees, what's wrong with it?" He had nothing. He's trying to say it's a congestion. I said, "So you mean people use it?" So it's that old joke. You say. Oh, I don't go there. No one goes there anymore. It's too crowded. Like, well, what do you mean? So again, congestion just means you got to pay a little bit more for a gas fee. Unless it's some crazy mint, you got 50, 100,000 people hitting the button in the same 2 seconds. Normally it's a pretty awesome product. Maybe 2 seconds out of every week, there's a period where people are like, ETH pissed me off. Like, it's literally that. It's like a 2-second period once a week.
Yeah, well, and it's apples and oranges when you're talking about those two things. You're talking about literally digital gold, a store of value. That's all Bitcoin should be. Some people think it's going to be the next payment solution for whatever.
Which is hard because, a 10-minute block size, meaning they only confirm transactions once every 10 minutes. Yeah. But when you got people swiping credit cards every millisecond,
Yeah, but even the tokenomics of Bitcoin don't make sense for it. Doesn't make sense for it to become a payment method because there's a finite amount, 20 million of them. It doesn't make sense to use something like that as a payment solution. Something like that is geared more towards being a store of value.
Yeah, it isn't a good payment solution until it's in global adoption, everyone's hands. Because apparently, supposedly, one Satoshi's one Satoshi, one Bitcoin's one Bitcoin. But, it would appreciate in price until we have 100% global adoption, and then it would level out. At that point, sure. It's evened out. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Start spending your Bitcoin. You get paid in Bitcoin. You spend your Bitcoin. But yeah, that's a long ways from now.
Well, even then you can go to the network. The network itself doesn't make sense for that. Then
yeah,
then you got things like Ripple or other, Nano, which is an extremely fast blockchain, way better payment solution. Even Litecoin would be a better payment solution than Bitcoin. It's faster. It's cheaper to use. So. Yeah, the people that think that the Bitcoin's the end all be all of cryptocurrency and blockchain, it doesn't make sense to me. Ethereum is a much better solution obviously for smart contracts, but for other things to be built on top of it. We talked about a little bit with the ATB that we did there, that if you look at the market cap, it's a lot closer than you think it is when you think of all the projects built on top of Ethereum. You got look at the NFT projects. Look at Bored Apes built on top of Ethereum. And then you add that market cap into what Ethereum's market cap is. You're much closer than you think on adoption of this chain to that chain. So
yeah, but them Bitcoin maxis, they don't like any of that. Some of the crew, they had altcoins on some clothing. Getting little snide comments and stuff. So.
Tomato stone at them. They were getting tomato stone.
Rotten vegetables.
I have a question for you guys. Jack Mahler with his payment system Strike implementing Lightning Network.
Yeah, use Bitcoin at a McDonald's and a Chipotle. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm not gonna spend my Bitcoin on a cheeseburger that I could rake my couch and get the change and pay for a cheeseburger. It's just too much work to use. It was like 4 button pushes, or maybe more, and it's Bitcoin. Why are you going to waste your money on a cheeseburger?
Yeah,
Bitcoin,
and even taking that out of the equation, it was much more difficult than cash or a credit card.
Yeah, it's a lot more. Like you use the example, now you don't even have to swipe your card. You can tap your card.
You tap a card and walk out. Yeah,
you got to read. It's complicated. I'm pushing. I'm verifying. I'm signing. I'm this. I'm that. And then finally, maybe it goes through. It's just it's a losing proposition when you're trying to onboard people to use it.
Yeah. Moving on. Speaking of Bored Apes, you brought up Bored Apes. You bought in again. You bought real cheap. You sold at a real nice profit. You bought in, again. And we were talking, man, you never know when they're going to have updates. You never know. You're going to go to sleep. You wake up. There's some huge announcement, Well, they just had another announcement. This happened yesterday. This is like, we tried to tell you guys. We bring you the alpha. We bring that NFT alpha. But yeah, now they're doing a full-fledged feature film series, Coinbase. This is not going to be a small budget. This isn't going to be a student film. I'm not saying this is going to be Star Wars Lucasfilm, but, I think this is going to be a, pretty serious endeavor. And people are able to submit their ape, and they give up, I think, the licensing rights, but Coinbase will give you $10,000. They throw it in the movie. But you give up your licensing rights.
But do you give it is it a one-time license, right? Like,
it's still very fresh. I'm seeing people saying it's forever. I haven't confirmed for myself, but I've seen other people counter. They'll quote tweet this, be like, "Look, I just negotiated a 1-year deal where I'm selling the rights for more than the 10K. Do not sign away your rights." I don't know if it's a lifetime thing. I can't imagine. I think it might be because they said it carries from seller to seller. Like you sell it, and like the person you sell it to, they realize like, hey, you're buying this monkey without the rights.
Golly.
Like they're doing it on the up and up,
Yeah, I just don't. To me, this introduces what people don't like about. To me, this kind of introduces what people are fighting against when they get into
centralization and the man coming in.
Like I liked the fact that the only thing I don't like about this screen right here is the Coinbase. I don't like the fact that Coinbase is involved in it, because it's even the exchange itself is a custodial service. It's a centralized exchange. They basically hold and own all your crypto if you hold it on there. So if they don't want to give it to you, they don't have to. So it's the kind of definition of centralization when you look at it, and then introducing that with the most popular NFT out. The largest NFT project out. I don't like it. I didn't like the fact that Coinbase was behind it. I'd much rather it be only, I don't think why are they even involving Coinbase?
I see that, and I do like it. I think
Why?
they're involving them because they're connections. I think the money behind it. I think it's very difficult to do a good feature film. I don't think it's something that the team feels comfortable taking on by themselves, and I think they want some outside help. And I think Coinbase is, as good a mechanism as that as any.
The only thing Coinbase is going to help you with in this situation is financial help, and they don't need financial help. Coinbase isn't in the business of Hollywood. They're not in the business of making movies. So like the only thing they're going to add to it is more money.
I would disagree.
Bored Ape
connections.
Bored Ape. I think all the celebrities that have Bored Apes, I think they have just as many connections as Coinbase, if not more.
I would say Coinbase can get a meeting with a Steven Spielberg much more easily than Bored Ape. I think Bored Ape, sure, they can get, random actor here and there, but, it's a little bit harder to get in a meeting with Tom Cruise versus Gunna, So I think, Gunna and Wiz Khalifa, yeah, sure. But I think Coinbase is getting meetings a couple levels above a Wiz Khalifa.
I doubt it. I think Bored Ape has just as many connections, if not more, in the entertainment field than a Coinbase would.
I would say Coinbase has really good connections with producers. Not so much the Hollywood elite.
What did they buy?
What did
they buy CryptoPunks with? How much money?
I can't recall. I mean, it was a hefty amount though.
In the billions. Like, did they buy that IP with?
I thought it was like hundreds of millions. I'm not sure. I can't recall. Maybe or Jamie can look it up. But
and Yuga Labs, like, what is the Taco? What is the
1.2 maybe or
1.2 billion?
I can't recall.
Okay, they can get a meeting with Steven Spielberg. Absolutely. With that kind of money.
They just spent that money. Maybe coffers are lower than they're comfortable with. Look, it's a lot of money to make a film. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of marketing. Yeah,
it's about $20 million to make a great movie, an amazing movie.
Oh, no. I mean, the Hollywood features are over 100 and over 100 in marketing.
No, a great movie though. You can make it.
You can
animated. You can make a great
Blair
animated.
Witch was $40,000. So I mean,
well, that's apples and oranges. That's not like we're not making it out of the garage there. We're making.
Let's derail a little bit. What were your thoughts on Blair Witch?
Blair Witch, for a second I thought it was real.
People thought it was real.
Yeah, I thought it was real. And how old was I? Maybe 10th grade, 11th grade?
Yeah, you're about that age because I was about 8th grade, 7th grade.
And then, that one scene where snot was dripping into the lens, that really got me. Yeah.
So I got jaded, before it became a viral hit. I was a nerd. I read the newspaper every single day. And they did an interview with the actors because it was in a film festival. And I was like, oh, this movie sounds cool. Fast forward 2 months later, 3 months later, it's grossing, $50 million on the $50,000 budget. It was all this big thing. And people were talking about, is this real? Is this fake? And I was like, I just read an interview with these people months ago. They're actors. Mm-hmm. And so, I never got caught up in the hype, but I saw the hype being created and would get not arguments, but people in my school would be like, no, it's real.
Wrestlers?
Yeah, basically.
It's real. Yeah.
I mean, the wrestling thing, people get, look, they're really getting hurt. They really, sometimes really hitting each other. But, I got down a rabbit hole a couple of weeks ago. It was wrestlers that injure other wrestlers. Apparently Goldberg is out there injuring people. Like he ruined Bret Hart's career and all this stuff. And Undertaker dropped someone on their head. And it's careful going down that rabbit hole. It'll suck you in.
Yeah. All right. I'll make sure I won't do
that. We got another thing.
It was $100 million. $100 million they acquired them for.
Oh, that seems pretty cheap.
Pretty low, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for that. Didn't they get EBITs too?
Okay.
Acquired 423 CryptoPunks, 1,711 Meebits, average selling price of about $177,000, and it was a deal likely worth more than $100 million.
Oh, so maybe it's not out. All right. Well, we got some other big NFT news that broke. I don't want to say, big news, but just before we were going to go live, Gary Vee released the art on his VCon tickets, and there's some mixed reactions. Seems like because the price,
tanked.
I mean, what was it? A week or two ago, was it like
2.5?
2.5.
It was 1.5. Then it went up to 2, and now it's at 0.568.
Okay, so down's almost 75%, almost 80%. It's so down quite a bit. Yeah, I mean we can see it right here. Yeah, above 2.
It was over 2 tacos. Let's get that right. Make sure we're correct on that info. Well, it's like 2.2. Okay, I was wrong. You were wrong.
Well, that's
Agree
the
to
average
disagree.
We'll be wrong
price.
together.
That's the average price, not the floor. To be fair, how much is the current average price above floor? But either way, like, yeah, I mean, people are paper handing it for sure.
Well, let's just be honest. I think it looks like
Yeah.
crap. You know, I love Gary Vee. So, I don't think he's watching, but I just think it doesn't look good. I think it was the reason why the price inflated so much is because of all the hype around it that he was creating, which is great. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. But when it came out, people were it was lackluster. They didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
I have a question for you guys. So these are the creators of the art for the VCon. Do you think Gary Vee thought that this would have an effect on the price in a positive way instead of what happened?
Yeah, because look, it's
of course.
6.5 ETH.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, you got someone that's their floor is 0.01, and you got someone who their floor is 6.5. I mean, it's a little different. I'm sure he thought it'd help boost the price a little bit, but I mean, we're talking about squiggles. I don't know how passionate you could feel about a line of color, but to me, I think there's going to be a dump eventually. I think a lot of these people are realizing like, oh crap, I'm sitting on 20 VCon tickets. This is going to be a pain in the butt to try to figure out a way of distributing, amongst my friends. Maybe, I can't get 20 people to all like, hey, let's all fly to Minnesota and get a room and we're going to VCon and blah, blah, blah. You might be the only person in your friend group that likes Gary Vee, and you're sitting on 10, V1s and you got 10 VCon tickets. You're like, well, now what the heck do I do? So now it's probably like a race to the bottom, like all the whales trying to just, okay, I only need 4 tickets. Now I got to dump 16 of them.
So there's 10.2. Okay, so there's 10,200. Huh. Interesting. How many V friends are there?
I think it's the like 10,111, or wait, no, I guess that would be 10.1. I know the new one, the new VCon. Did you hear the number on that? 55,000.
The 2.
Yeah.
55,000.
55,000.
Look at that 10.3. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his whole thing though. I've been following the whole. Oh, look at the price. Go back to the floor price.
12.
Ooh.
It was what, 9 or 8? We're looking at it.
Yeah, and it went up to like 18 or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, Taco. I'm sure you will. Was it 18? Wasn't it 18? I remember seeing 18 as a floor price.
Yeah, I think 18 was. I mean, look at that little spike right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember that
definitely
spike,
haven't seen them
because we were
below
talking
10.
about like, holy crap, how are we gonna go? But I think now that the price is down, we're gonna go. We're gonna go to VCon.
Yeah, we'll go. We'll snag up a couple tickets. I was just talking to TJ about it, but yeah, I think it's still expensive to go to a basically you're going to a concert, so it's.
I wish we had the Forge built in time to go to VCon, because we have the Super Bowl, then we have the cruise, but then we have the Comic Con, or we're not 100% certain it's Comic Con. How would you have felt about replacing Comic Con with VCon?
It would have been great. Maybe we can make that pivot and change.
Yeah,
it depends on
hey, that's the good thing about when you keep building, you get to.
That's all we do.
Yeah.
We build.
What are y'all talking about? What y'all doing over there? All right. Anyways, I had to talk at the peanut gallery.
I was doing the
second.
math on the volume traded on VFriends. He's made over like $7 million just off secondary sales.
Which he
50,000
says
times
goes
3.
right back into the conference, which I believe it probably cost $1 million, $2 million to put this conference on every year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's definitely making some good money on the secondaries. But all right, moving on, we got the huge Cardano news. They want to hear our take, I'm sure. You see it here. I was in the space with Snoop. I didn't get to talk or anything, but I was in the space with Snoop, Warren G, Snoop Dogg's child, and was it Charles Hoskinson, and then the Claymates lady. It was pretty good spaces. I mean, people are getting hyped. I think this increases the odds that Claymates might be the Bored Ape of Cardano.
You keep saying that though, but where's the price at now? Like, wait, let's look.
I think it's
up.
around 20. It fell 20. Yeah, I was gonna say 22 even maybe, but yeah, 25. So not quite an ETH, but close to an ETH, 0.8 probably.
Yeah, I think it all depends on what these what you're going to be able to do in the long term with these things, that actually will hold any kind of value or maybe even increase value. If it's a collab with Snoop Dogg, okay, what does that mean? Like, what is it? What are they going to be able to do with Snoop? Are they going to do something with Snoop Dogg? Are they have access to Snoop Dogg? Are they going to be able to go to a concert?
Well,
or
that's
are they just
part
going to
of
be able to video?
I would say that's
Claymation
part of the equation,
video?
part of the recipe. But I think you can also just get celebrities to just be like, "Hey, this is cool," and not worry about utility. Much like the first 6 months of Bored Ape.
No, Bored Apes has been real. I mean, they've always had those exclusive parties as part of their thing. It's like on their roadmap and stuff. But I don't know. I think we've talked about this before. The Cardano ecosystem needs an influx of users and holders. They need more money to come into it.
They need ETH whales.
Yeah, they need ETH users, ETH anything. Just bring in the people. Doesn't necessarily have to be whales. You add 10,000 new people into the ecosystem, because I think it's really small already. You add 10,000 people, I think you'll see a significant difference in the action, the volume on all these projects. Because again, it's only 2,500 Cardano, which is not even at this point today. It's not even $2,500.
Yeah, I would say like 10,000 regular users, but I mean, depending on the whale size, you can equal 10,000 with 1 to 500 whales. So maybe a combination of both, and then that's how we get to that next level of Cardano prices. I think it's possible, and I think I'm leaning towards likely. I'm leaning towards it's likely you see a 5 ETH Clay Nation floor one day. I don't know when that day will be, if that's 6 months from now, 3 months from now, 2 years from now, but I think you'll see like a 5 ETH floor and a 10 ETH floor possibly. And maybe, all right, here's a question. Can anything pass Space Buds? Some of these like 10,000 drop projects. Well, can a boscat pass Space Buds? Can a Clay Nation pass Space Buds?
We've talked about this before. You're probably not going to like it. I'm going to put you on the spot. But what did you say about Space Buds? Like, they really don't have anything else going for them, right? They just have their creator.
Yeah. Well, I said, I wanted to separate the creator's accomplishments from Space Buds' accomplishments. Right. A lot of people try to say, well, Alessandro, that's the guy's name. Alessandro made Nami Wallet. Well, he made Nami Wallet, not Space Buds.
Right.
So they try to,
So what's the utility behind Space Buds that's going to make it hold its value, or are people going to wisen up once you get these influx of users, whether they're whales or multiple users, which you really want multiple users more than a whale in long term?
I would say its utility it's the crypto punks of Cardano. So like, that's the utility. I'm not trying to say it has anything extra going on.
Yeah.
But, some people that's good enough. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's a collector aspect of it, and then people do, like what Alessandro's been doing for the ecosystem. So, they kind of combine that. Wow. Boscat down to 1650.
1650.
We saw it all the way close to 3,000.
It hit 3,000, the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's Boscat's a project that actually is, at least saying they're doing stuff, right? And they are.
Yeah.
I mean, they have
Manny Pacquiao, but
they have come out with some of the utility. They've built some of the utility. They've released some of it. So I would like to see Space Buds, if they're going to hold its value, kind of do some of the same.
The Claymates, the founders just doxed themselves yesterday. Did you see that?
Yeah. Well, that's good too. I mean, I think that's important. It's not necessary, but it's important. But again, I like Claymates. So if people are watching that are Claymate holders, that's fine. I mean, I like them. I do.
You have one, right?
I have one. Well, yeah, I think I have one. I have to check. I bought one. That was my second or third. I don't know if I sold or not. Second or third NFT, Cardano NFT was a Claymate. I grew up watching that kind of weird art,
the PJs
animation stuff. Yeah, I liked all that stuff. I like it, but I think right now, going back to the users on Cardano, I think if you're steadily dropping things under the name Clay Nation and Claymate, you're going to run out of money. There's a supply issue and a demand issue when you do that.
It's too much too quickly.
Way too much, and there's not enough liquidity. And there's not enough money in the ecosystem. There's not enough users in the ecosystem. So you're going to find a problem. They're going to collapse. Same thing happened to Boscat. They release. Well, there's not that much money, guys. Really, there's not that many holders in the ecosystem for it to sustain drop after drop. I don't care how crazy your community is, which Boscat community is insane. It's crazy. It's the top. I think we did a poll recently. Taco did, and they won again.
Yeah.
And so, That's the issue that you're going to have if we don't get users. We need more users, that's something we're trying to do, is introduce people into the space from Ethereum. Get people using it.
Yeah. We just did the how-to guide just recently. So, if you want to know how to, we can definitely help educate you on how to get into the space. So, but I think it's all a good thing. I think the founders being doxxed is, a good thing in the long run. Probably going to get doxxed anyways as the popularity grows.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, I think, part of their success will depend on how much does Snoop Dogg and Charles Hoskinson, continue to collaborate with them, work with them, and what other things. Here's, who's the winner in this thing? Good Charlotte. Who's talking about Good Charlotte?
I forgot their song.
I like good, Joel Madden. What's the other brother's name? Joel and something else. Hey, cool people. They've been Cardano OGs. So you know what? I could see a little resurgence in some Good Charlotte, because who better to headline, a Cardano event rather than Snoop and Good Charlotte?
Yeah. Good Charlotte. I can't remember their music. I get them and
Fallout Boy.
No, I get them and Blink-182 mixed up for whatever
similar
reason.
styles.
Yeah. So I always I don't know who's who anymore. And, so yeah, Blink-182 is great. I really like the fact that they partnered with Claymates.
You listen to all the small things when you get out of the bathroom. You love it.
What's my age again? It was a classic.
Real quick question.
Yeah.
So, do you think Snoop Dogg is spreading himself a little too thin across
another good
all
question.
these
That's a good
blockchains?
question. I
Is
think
he
it's a
the chain
fair
link?
question.
I think that's kind of where, I think it's like when I heard the news, that's great. It caused a big spike, but then you're seeing everybody like wisening up, like, well, wait a minute.
It's
like,
the same thing as the Elon Musk Doge effect. It lessens over time. The Snoop Dogg lessens over time. Gary Vee's power is going to lessen over time. I think with the 55,000 V2s, there might be a little clapback on that. Might be a little pushback on the high number. So, because people do the math, they'll say, oh, he's making this much money, and what's he delivering? More than you, more than everybody. So, but, people still hate on it, though.
Yeah. It's difficult, man. NFT projects are difficult.
All right. And, speaking of NFTs, we got the, people are like, wait, you're talking about these different chains. You're talking about Ethereum. I kind of know Ethereum. I kind of know Cardano. Don't know the difference. Well, there's Solana NFTs, Cardano NFTs, Ethereum NFTs, XRP NFTs.
Wax
NFTs. We cut our teeth on Wax. Wax is kind of where we're making moves early.
Yeah, well, I cut my teeth a little earlier than you did. I was on Ethereum a while ago, but yes, I think I introduced you to NFTs on Wax. When was that?
Yeah, because my first NFTs were Immutable X, Gods Unchained, Ethereum, and like I barely even knew what an NFT was. I was buying them, didn't really know what I was doing.
What they were doing, yeah. So.
But yeah, then Wax was when I learned about staking NFTs, and really got into
earning yield on our planet.
Writing coins all the way down to the bottom.
Thinking this is my way out.
Reinvesting to thrash and keep your head above water. Just so I remember really thinking like, wow, my Wax NFTs are paying my rent. I'm on top of the world.
Yeah. Scouring Twitter looking for little keys and like secrets that what's going to be launched on our planet.
Yeah, to make an extra sandwich a day.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember watching you do that and being like, man, there's a better way, Deezy.
Yeah, it's meant to monkey and then sit back and do nothing.
Meant to monkey and wait. Yeah. So what are we talking about here? What is the point of XRP NFTs? Is that the bigger question we're trying to get to, or what's the best? So if for a beginner, I think the easiest, most mainstream chain is Ethereum. It's going to be more expensive though. That's what you have to learn. It's going to be more expensive. If you don't want to deal with transaction fees, I would probably tell people to go to Cardano faster. They're very similar in how they work, especially with this how-to video we just did on Nami Wallet, where the two wallets work on your desktop very, very easily, and they can.
But I would say if you're a full-blown crackhead on, blockchain, NFTs, you're ready to dive in, you can maybe earn a little bit of money on Wax and Binance Smart Chain, and then port that over to Ethereum or Cardano. But like. You got to stay on that ecosystem, and you cannot marry the project. You can't marry the coin. You can't marry the game. Get in, get out. You start to see, all right, I think the peak's in. We're maybe starting to head down. Jump ship and find another lifeboat quick. And then that's the only strategy that would be successful. bounce, bounce, bounce. Like, don't marry the coins. Just abandon them.
Yeah, just jump.
Paper hand your way up to Cardano and Ethereum.
I think the best question you need to ask yourself if you're trying to get into NFTs is, why am I trying to get? Are you trying to get in because you're watching all these videos and seeing people make millions and millions of dollars and change their life? Or are you seeing people get involved in projects for the utility? Those are the two questions you have to ask yourself. Are you doing it for the money? Are you doing it for the utility? And then once you answer that question, you can find out which ecosystem you want to get involved in, because there's different chains that will let you do different things. So that's the question you have to. I would say most people, though, are in it for the money. And if you're not, then you're probably lying to yourself.
Speaking of utility, though, you saw the Bored Ape Hungry and Bored, or Bored and Hungry pop up, or not even a pop up. There's a real Bored Ape restaurant out there.
Yeah, but can you only go if you have an ape, though?
No.
Like, I doubt it.
No.
So yeah, so the utility there is.
Well, the utility is like their branding, and they're instantly onboarding.
But
fans.
anybody could go. Like, if anybody could go to this restaurant and buy an ape burger.
It's really just a strong marketing tactic. It's a huge marketing tool. Great one too.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. What town is that in? Is it in California?
You know what? I just realized your mic's unplugged. What's going on with that? I don't know. Is it battery?
No, it's not.
Oh, there's a little skinny wire. Why do I got the fat wire?
Long
in the
Beach,
back?
California.
Long Beach. Yeah.
Yeah, Long Beach, LBC. Snoop's hometown. Where he his bodyguard murdered somebody in self-defense.
Yeah.
I think.
That's what the case they gave him was that.
That's the case they gave his bodyguard, not Snoop. But he made quite the song out of it.
Yeah. Remember when he got up out of that wheelchair on stage? Like, everybody clapped.
Yeah, good stuff. You know what? I'd eat it. I'd go there. People are like selling the box on eBay, probably trying to get a free sandwich out of it. I mean, who's going to buy that? You know what? I hope it's not like the McDonald's thing where it doesn't change how it looks. So he spent $267K for his Bored Ape there. When spent $267 to purchase the Bored Ape and 2 Mutant Apes. So you know what? It was a heck of a marketing tactic, and I think it worked. So, but do we have some would you rather? That's the bigger question here.
Would you rather have a pause button or a rewind button in your life?
Where do we get these? Seriously, I want to know. Like, where do you? Is there a place, or do you think of these? Honest answer.
Off the top of my head, on the spot, this is what I thought of.
Pause or rewind? I mean, rewind kind of. Pause is good too, though. They're both pretty good. That is a tough one. Now
But
the
when you
rewind.
pause
Are you
it-
going back to like 8th grade?
Well,
Like,
rewind,
all right, I'm
rewind.
starting all over.
When you pause it, though, does that mean everybody pauses and then you can just do stuff around them, like that movie in
Yes.
Avengers? Was that guy that can do that? There's some guy that can do that. Huh.
Or like think if your baby was born, you could like sit there for like 3 hours, make the.
Oh, you
moment
could
last
sleep.
for a
That's what
long
you use.
time.
You catch up on sleep. You
True.
pause it, sleep, wake up.
That's a good use case for the
Well,
pause button.
I know with the pause though, you'll age fast. Depending on the more you use it, the more you age.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
so
that
if-
movie Click with
What a
Adam
what a
Sandler.
great premise, terrible execution.
Yeah. I don't know. It really picked up at the end. I felt bad for him. He let his whole life. He fast forwarded his whole life
Yeah.
through the nagging. The nagging wife, the annoying kids.
Yeah.
He fast forwarded it, and then 40 years later, he's obese, dying on a sidewalk.
Yeah, not wanting to fast forward. It's fast forwarding. No, I didn't want to. You know what, though? That is really tough. I would probably say rewind, because pause, sure, it's great if I'm like trying to play, be the world's most famous billiards player or something, or bowling. You pause it right when the thing hits and you you run down there, knock all the pins down, run back and like hit play. You're like, I don't know. Like,
Is it unlimited rewind?
yeah, how far back do you rewind? I might go back far.
Like, just rewind the whole. Yeah.
You're like the world's smartest 1-year-old.
No, just rewind. I'll take the rewind.
Yeah. I think I'm going deep too. I'm probably going pretty deep.
Again, you
I'm
can
buying
just keep
Bored
doing
Apes. I'm buying Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like who wouldn't just do that?
Yeah. It's unlimited. If it's unlimited rewinds, I mean, you could do it until you're God eventually.
Yeah, I mean, you found Tesla. You found you just do all the things. You know what I mean?
All right. Next, would you rather? Would you rather have a child every year for 20 years or never have a child at all?
Jeez, man.
That's a tough one. I feel like people are going to be
We'll let
angry
you
no matter
answer
what
that
you
one
say.
First, go.
20 kids or 0? I mean, I would maybe lean towards the kids if we stopped at like 10, 12, but 20? I'm not John or Mitt Romney. You know what I mean? That seems a little tough.
Yeah, there's a lot to account for that. Like, you got to really factor in a lot of things, a lot of variables in this equation before you can give a good answer. 20 kids, that takes a lot of.
That's 40 years, basically.
Well,
The youngest kid will
40,
turn 20.
It's 40 years, number one. Number two, it takes a lot of funds to, you got to support that. So can you support it?
Yeah.
Probably not.
You almost have to live on a farm and put them to work.
Yeah, you got to
child
create
labor.
Your own ecosystem. Milking the cow, chickens, and all that stuff. So I'm going to say none because I don't want to provide poorly for my 20 children.
Yeah.
That's how you get out of the
I would say none because, I can't give the children the attention they would deserve.
Responsible. Yeah. So, but the responsible thing to say is 0 children.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you factor in multiples. If we can have like 4 kids,
Ooh, 5 sets of quadruplets.
Is that in the cards, Taco? Did you think about that? Aha.
Yeah. All right. I think, is that it? Do we got anything else? We got a little.
And the poor woman.
I got a bonus question if you guys want to answer it.
Just got like
a
month to recover and then.
So both of you guys have a mutant.
Yes.
Would you ever in the future do anything with it, like this guy who created a restaurant, or would you create
do like a digital city animated series?
I want to do animated series.
Car wash.
Everybody's doing that. Mutant car wash. We clean
bored and
green
clean, clean
soap,
and bored, bored and clean, bored and spotless,
bored and spotless,
bored and squeaky, bored and squeaky. I like it. All these are good. We're giving these good ideas to these people.
Yeah.
But that would be cool, you know what I mean? Because you could do the ones where it's just like the drive-through. You don't really have to do much but refill your soap. And make sure your vacuum's working.
Maybe a merch line.
You can slap them on the side of the bricks.
Maybe a merch line, just a line of merch. If you market it right, you can become, you're the first in that space as far as mutants go.
Yeah. Build out like a nice Web3 portal. You got
because if you're doing car washes, what are you gonna pop them up? I'm in it to win it, right? I want to take over. You're doing a car wash in every city. Like a merch line, you can reach more people, the masses, with a merch line.
Okay, so you're thinking more like an online business rather than a physical location with like a monkey on the side of the building.
I don't want to do a burger shack.
Yeah,
I think those are restaurants are very hard to run. Very.
I'm just thinking like something we could do this summer. Like we could,
how about
if we had
stand?
to.
Let's do a lemonade stand. A mutant lemonade stand, but we'll twist. With a twist, we'll do green lemonade.
Oh,
there
you
it's
go.
syrup.
Mutant. Yeah, you're
lemonade
drinking serum.
Yeah,
lemon.
You could be a mutant
lemon
too.
serum.
There you go.
Okay.
We'll just set that up right in the corner of 41 and.
Let's do it on the side of the road where people are driving like 55, 70.
Yeah, we'll hang out with the old lady.
We splash it.
Sign spinners.
I think their window's open. Time it.
Yeah. We'll hang out. We'll become friends with all the sign spinners.
Put a QR code. Tips appreciated. It's.
Talk about a weird group of people. Sign spinners.
We love our sign spinners. We love our sign spinners.
Those are some those are some strange people if you think about it.
Yeah, it's a skill set.
They're getting ready in the morning and they're tying their shoes. They're like, "Yeah, got to go spin that sign today."
Doing hand exercises.
They practice in the mirror at night. Is that it? We're done. Did we insult the spinners?
Just in sweating in a room, spinning on top of their head. How long can I go? How long can I go? Sweat dripping.
We do. We love our sign spinners.
We love them.
All right, they're rocking out over there.